Puss in Boots. Puss in Boots. Once upon a time there was a miller who had 3 sons. When the miller died, he left everything he owned to them. The oldest son was given the mill, and the second son was given the donkey. All that was left for the younger son was the old cat. "We have no home. What are we going to do, Puss?" said the youngest son sadly as he stroked the old cat. Then, to his surprise, the old cat began to talk. "You have always been kind to me," said Puss, "so do as I say from now on, and I will make your fortune. Get me a hat, a pair of boots, and a bag." The miller's son did as he was told. The cat pulled on the red boots. "Now I am Puss in Boots," he said, as he hurried off with the bag over his shoulders. Puss in Boots stopped at a field. He put Carrot in the bag and placed the bag on the ground. He waited until a rabbit hopped into the bag. Then he pulled the string tight. Puss in Boots knew that the king liked rabbits still. Off he went to the king's palace. "This is a present from my master, the Marquis of Carabas," said Puss in Boots, bowing low to the king. The king was very pleased with the present. Every day Puss in Boots took more presents to the king, saying that they were from his master, the Marquis of Carabas. One day Puss in Boots said to the miller's son, "Go down to the river for a swim." No sooner had the miller's son wandered into the water when the king's coach came along. Puss in Boots hid his master's clothes under a bush and began calling, "Help, help! My master, the Marquis of Carabas, is drowning and his clothes have been stolen." The king stopped at the couch when he heard Puss in Boots calling. The king's men ran to save the miller's son. They were dressed him in some fine clothes. "Come and join us," said the king. The miller's son climbed into the couch and sat beside the beautiful princess. Puss in Boots had raced off ahead of the couch. Soon he came to some men who were cutting corn in a field. "When the king passes this way," said Puss in Boots fiercely, "tell him the cornfield and all this land belong to your master, the Marquis of Carabas." The men were so frightened of the fish-talking cat that they did just as they were told. The king was very pleased to hear that the Marquis of Carabas owned so much land. In the meantime, Puss in Boots had raced on. He reached a huge castle, which was the home of a cruel giant. "I have been told that you can turn yourself into any animal you wish," said Puss in Boots to the giant. "Just watch me," roared the giant as he turned himself into a fierce lion. That is amazing," said Puss in Boots, who was shaking with fear. "Would you turn yourself into a very tiny mouse?" said Puss in Boots. "That would be harder to do." "That's not hard," boasted the giant. With that, he turned himself into a little mouse and skidded across the floor. That was what Puss in Boots wanted. In a flash, he pounced on the mouse and ate him up. Just as Puss in Boots was washing his paws, he heard the king's couch stopped outside the castle. "Welcome to the home of my master, the Marquis of Carabas," said Puss in Boots. The miller's son enjoyed pretending to be the Marquis of Carabas. "Please stay for dinner," he said to the king and the princess. Later that evening, the Marquis of Carabas asked the king if he could marry the princess. The king was delighted. And so, the miller's son and the princess were married the very next day, and they lived happily ever after with their cat, the clever Puss in Boots.